Hello and welcome to Explore the Outdoors with HBC TV 25. I'm Spencer Ellingson. We are lucky to live in a community that provides so many outdoor activities. From the bluffs to the lakes to the mighty Mississippi River, southeastern Minnesota has it all. Here at HBC, we want to show you what, when, where, why, and how you can explore the outdoors. In the first installment of the show, we meet up with professional angler Tyler Moore and explore the sport of ice fishing. We also spent time with the Winona Windhawk Nordic ski head coach Jacob Rho and learned about the fascinating sport of Nordic skiing and the unique experience the area provides. First, we will head out to the frozen Mississippi River and try out some ice fishing.
Explore the Outdoors with HBC is brought to you by Oz Lifting. More power, good, right? Oz Lifting Products offers safe lifting solutions, from chain hoists to lever hoists, trolleys and clamps for all your lifting needs. See ozliftingproducts.com or at the Fastenal store.
My name is Justin Barrientos and I'm the sports director and broadcast announcer here at HBC TV 25. I've had the opportunity to broadcast our community's sporting events and parades. When people see the HBC live truck in their area covering the events they care about, it makes me feel good to know that I'm helping the community get recognized. HBC is committed to be involved in all of our communities. Not only do we work here, we live here, and helping build our community is important to us because HBC is people in your community.
Imagine having a financial partner who helps you plan for the future and gives you the personal attention you deserve. We invite you to Foresight Bank. It's a place where we'll listen to your vision of success and help you take the right steps to get there. Foresight Bank has the mobile and online services you need, along with attractive savings rates and fast loan decisions for your business, ag operation, or buying a home. Stop in and find out how we do things differently to help build a brighter future. Foresight Bank, family owned for over 100 years, with locations in Plainview and Rochester.
Hello and welcome. We're here at Pool 6 of the Mississippi River. We're here with Tyler Moore, professional fisherman, and one of our co-workers. I got fish right here.
Yeah, you got him on the
camera.
camera.
Close to biting here, so we might get an interruption, but that's okay. We'll take that. But we're going to start off with some questions. Tyler, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first off, and tell us how you got into the ice fishing business, maybe the fishing business overall.
Well, I've been doing this, as long as I can remember. I got into it because of my dad. My dad was a big ice fisherman and fisherman in general, and so was my grandfather. And so I was kind of born into it. They laugh. They say I was fishing before I could walk, and that's kind of, I guess that's true in a way. But as I grew older, it definitely grew into something a little more than a hobby. It became really a big passion of mine, the biggest passion I had. And when I got into school, I knew I kind of wanted to be in the communications and marketing area, but when I was given the opportunity to work in the fishing industry, I jumped all over it because, for me, there's never a day that really feels like work anymore because I'm able to do this. And so it's been awesome. I've been working in the fishing industry now since I was 15, and it just keeps getting better.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got the professional fisherman title? We joked around a little bit off camera about, can anybody get that professional title, or how do you get to that point?
Well, as an ice fisherman, I don't know, I guess the term professional is a loose term. I would consider myself more of a promotional angler than anything. I work with a lot of different companies to do, photo shoots, video work, that kind of stuff. And professional it's a hard term to define, so I don't know if I'd go as far to call myself professional, but I've been lucky enough to work with a lot of really, really big companies in the industry and do a lot of great things. As you got a fish, how about that?
There we go. There's the nice little one. We got Sunny.
Yeah. So we caught a couple sunnies and a couple crappies out here. There's some bass and stuff that have swam through, but
doing good. Do you do a lot of fishing tournaments at all, or just mostly just fish for fun, fish for food?
I've done fishing tournaments in the past. I used to fish for the Winona State fishing team in college on open water. The ice fishing tournament scene is just kind of really gaining popularity. I don't fish on ice tournaments very much. I just do a lot of promotional work, photo work, but I'm out here 5 days a week, usually fishing, sometimes 6-7 days a week, depending on the weather. But as you can see, we're obviously in this shack, and it's pretty warm and comfortable in here, so you're able to come out and really in any weather and enjoy it. And I'm able to create a lot of content and, you know, do a lot of things to help out a lot of the companies in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of fishing tournaments, you know, there's one in, got another fish here, but as I continue to talk, there's one in Onalaska I know coming up. Are there any other fishing tournaments that would be of interest to people around here that you know of?
They do have one on Bartlett Lake here over by the airport. That's coming up here. I think they do that in February. There's a couple other ice fishing tournaments that you can get involved with. I think if you check the DNR website, they'll have a list of kind of what's coming up. I know that the big one in Onalaska, that's a lot of fun. There's so many people that get involved in that, and that's such a cool experience if you get a chance to go down there. There's also the Dodge County ice fishing tournament over on their trout pond. That's a lot of fun because they have a lot of door prizes and stuff like that that you can get involved in. So that's cool. We did that 2 years ago, and that was a really good time.
Awesome. Speaking of ice fishing tournaments and that kind of stuff, how do you get into ice fishing? Like, where do you start?
Well, I think that's the hard thing for a lot of people is, you know, you look at all the gear that I have as an ice fisherman and you're like, well, you know, that's got to be expensive. And it is. I mean, this can be a really expensive sport, but it also can be a really, you know, easy sport to get into. All you need is is an ice rod, and then, you know, get a friend. Just find a friend and get somebody that's already involved in it.
That's harder for some
well,
people.
Well, yeah, I get that. But no, we have a lot of community resources that are available to help out, you know, people who want to get involved. You can go to the DNR website. They'll give you a list of places that you can go to find. I'll catch this fish, but they'll give you a list of resources that you can go to find people that will help you out. Just look around the community, go and talk to people. You know, if you're already involved in the fishing community in the area, you can see that there's a lot of people out here that are just willing to help. If you're youth that's looking to get involved, it's really easy to go. They have a kids fishing day out at McNally's Landing that we talk about a lot in February. That's a lot of fun. I've been involved with that for a couple years now, where we get all the kids out and drill a bunch of holes for them, and they're able to learn all about kind of what goes on in the Mississippi and how they can get into ice fishing. Or if you're a college-age kid, which we have a lot of those around here, obviously, join your local fishing club. The Winona State one is a lot of fun. I was a part of that when I was in school, and they still have that going on. There's a lot of great members in there that are more than willing. They have the gear, and they're more than willing to take out new people and just get involved. So it's not as hard as it looks.
Well, let's talk about some of the gear we have. We obviously have the nice tent here. We got a Vexlar, I believe, and then the
AquaView, yep.
View?
Yep.
Is it View?
Yep.
So explain this to us.
All right, so this is much more complicated than it needs to be in ice fishing. I go all out when I do this, so yeah, we're in our insulated hub shelter from Clam Outdoors, which is a really nice little tent style pop-up shelter. It folds into a little bag, really lightweight. You can fish 4 people in here, and this is awesome for any time it's cold or you don't want to fish in the elements. This stays really warm even without a heater, but when I put the heater in here, our little portable heater, I can get this up to like 60 degrees and just, you know, it's really enjoyable to fish in. We have the Vexlar, as you said, that's helping me mark fish and figure out where the fish are down here, telling me how deep it is. The AquaView camera is obviously showing you what's going on under the water. We're watching the fish bite. That's a really cool thing to see. You know, a lot of people really enjoy that, especially if you're just getting into ice fishing. To be able to see the fish swim around and how they react to your bait is really neat. Then obviously we have the rods, the tuned up custom rods that we're using, and then the Kender's jigs, the tungsten jigs. I like the tungsten jigs because they're heavier, so it's easier to get down to the fish faster. And then we're just using live bait. You can get that from anywhere. We're using spikes and waxworms. So
I mean, you can pretty much get all this stuff from Fleet Farm right here in town. There's a couple places in town you can get this, right?
Yep, we have Fleet Farm. I like to support Hogline Bait and Tackle. They're a small business right down on Mankato across from Quick Trip. That's a great place to go and get all your bait. Doug is a great guy. Otherwise, Ace Hardware sells all the bait and tackle that you would need as well. So there's 3 or 4 different places you can go right here in town that you can get the bait and tackle that you need to get yourself all set up and come out here on the river.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about ice fishing versus regular fishing. What do you like more? I think I know the answer to this question, but what do you like more and why?
Well, they're different. They're totally different styles of fishing. Man, you're just going to keep out fishing me. But they're totally different styles of fishing for me. I got my first boat this last year, so now I'm able to explore the river a little more during open water season. But ice season is so nice because it allows anybody to get out to places that they couldn't normally reach in open water. You know, when the river is frozen, it gives you so much more area to explore and get out here where you wouldn't be able to go without a boat. So I think that's what's so much more fun about that versus open waters. I think ice fishing is so much more accessible to the public in general, and I think that's what makes it so appealing. But I'm an ice freak. I love this. You know, I do this 5-6 days a week. Open waters is fantastic, but to me there's something about being out here and this experience. Okay, this isn't even fair anymore. Why are we doing this?
I'm enjoying this. Tyler set this all up for me too, by the way. I didn't do any of this. I just put my pole in the rod and I keep getting fish. So,
but
we'll thank Tyler for all of these.
But yeah, no, it's, you know, the amount of accessibility and that there is in ice fishing is just so nice. And you know, I love both. I love both styles of fishing. But if I could ice fish all year round, I definitely would.
Well, there's some problems with trying to ice fish all year round.
There is. That's, you know. Get
Oh.
your jigs fixed.
And we're breaking everything here. If you had to give some tips, maybe some. Let's start with tips. What are your tips for ice fishing? As
Tips.
Pulling another one. He clearly knows what he's doing.
Yeah, sometimes. I would say, you know, just as far as tips, it's pay attention to, and this sounds really cliche, but pay attention to what's going on around you on the river. You know, as we drove out here, we saw 5-6 different guys that were out on the ice. And, you know, that's a great way to start. You don't ever, you know, it's not easy to say that, hey, just go around and look for people on the ice. But at the same time, you know, if you're totally clueless about what's going on out here, you know, it's really easy to go around and just talk to people. There's so many people out here that are ice fishing. You walk down and you say, hey, how's it going? You know, how's the fishing? And they're able to tell you, you know, here's what we're doing, and there's so many people that are willing to help you find fish, and that's a great way to start. If you are an open water fisherman, it's great to always, you know, use those spots that you've got, you know, during open water and check those for ice, because a lot of times those fish they won't move far from a lot of their open water spots. So if you're able to, you know, take what you learned during open water fishing and move it to ice fishing, you know, that's great. Obviously, almost all of these river backwaters on the Mississippi have fish in them. You know, we're very lucky that this area is so unique in the amount of different areas that you have that there are fish in. And then the lakes as well. You know, people overlook like Lake Winona and Bartlett Lake. Those all have fish in them as well. So there's just so many different areas. You really can't go wrong out here.
I gotta assume there's some websites or forums online that you can probably find too.
Yep, I always direct people to the DNR website. The DNR website, the Minnesota DNR website, you can go on and they have something called a Lake Finder. And Lake Finder, you're able to type in your county that you're in. So we're obviously in Winona County, and that will show you, it'll bring up a list of all the different bodies of water that are around us, and you can go through and click on them. They'll show you what kind of fish are around. They'll show you where you can access the lake, you know, fishing piers, boat launches, stuff like that, where you can get onto the area. And so that's a great resource if you want to go on there. DNR, the Lake Finder is just an awesome tool to figure out. I still use it all the time to really figure out, you know, where I want to fish for the day.
Well, as I pull in another one, any precautions you'd give to people going out ice fishing?
Well, obviously no ice is ever safe. That's, you know, that's the biggest thing, is you always have to be aware of your surroundings. Ice changes all the time, especially early in the year. We're out here on, I'd say close to 10 inches, maybe 12 inches of ice. So we're on very, very safe ice out here. River ice, though, is typically about 25 to 30% weaker than a lake ice. So just, you know, be safe. I always recommend at least 4 inches of ice before you go out ice fishing. And sometimes on the river, it's safe to even wait for 5 or 6. So just be careful. They make ice fishing spuds that you can go out and you check as you go, and you're able to check ice depth. Don't just run out on the ice. You know, we have too many people that go through every year. You just have to take all the safety precautions. My ice fishing suit that I'm wearing is actually floating material, so if I were to go through early ice,
If you were to go through, I would have.
Yeah, he's not going to float, but I will. So, you know, they also make ice picks that you can buy that'll just sling around your neck. So if something were to happen, you were to go through, you're able to stick those in the ice and pull yourself back out. And then always go with a friend. Even I, as much as I ice fish, I try to 95% of the time have a buddy out here just in case something were to happen. You need to have somebody out here that's going to be able to help you.
Awesome. Last question here. Question I should have probably brought up earlier, but what are you fishing for out here? We've seen a lot of sunnies, a lot of crappies, but...
Right, so where we're at specifically, we are in about 15 to 16 feet of water in this little basin. We're right around some wood structure. There's a log that's in the water down here by us, and that actually extends all the way across for like 10 to 20 yards and splits up, and these fish just hang out on this log up in like 10 feet of water, and you'll see a lot of sunfish, bluegills, crappies. There are some bass that we've seen swim through, and so we're fishing for just your typical backwater stuff. A lot of panfish. You can get another fish.
There we go.
Oh, I lost
him.
It. But yeah, so there's mostly panfish out here, and that's what a lot of guys are targeting. There's also a great perch fishery out here. Northern are out here. We aren't fishing tip-ups today, but that's a lot of fun to get out and tip-up fish for pike and bass. So the opportunities are really endless as far as fish, but I'm very partial to big bluegills and big crappies, which we haven't seen any monsters yet, but we've seen a couple on camera, so there's a lot of them out here.
What are these rods going to hold for you? They look pretty flimsy, but I assume they hold a little bit.
No, I've caught a lot of big fish on these rods. We're using ultralight rods, but just so we can feel the panfish bites better. But yeah, this is these rods I've caught 4 or 5 pound bass on and pike on. So yeah, they definitely hold up as long as you set your drag and play the fish right. You'll be all right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tyler, for bringing us out here. Hopefully we can get a couple more fish.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a couple more.
Thank you.
Well, that sure was fun. Again, we thank Tyler Moore for taking time out of his day to teach us how to fish. Now it's time to head out to the bluffs and meet up with Jacob Rho and give Nordic skiing a try.
Explore the Outdoors with HBC is brought to you by Oz Lifting. More power, good, right? Oz Lifting Products offers safe lifting solutions, from chain hoists to lever hoists, trolleys and clamps for all your lifting needs. See ozliftingproducts.com or at the Fastenal store.
At Midtown Foods, we know it's not just about getting groceries. It's about friendly faces, fresh produce, quality cuts of meat, and experienced employees. We know because we shop here too. Midtown Foods, Winona's largest locally owned grocery store. Downtown Winona.
Hi, my name's Dave Adcock, one of your good friends here at HBC. I take great pride in serving our friends and neighbors in the community, and it's a privilege to also serve those who've served our country. When I deliver lunch to my friend Sil, a veteran of World War II, we not only share lunch, but we share time. And I really enjoy that connection to the community. Not only do we work here, we live here, and helping build our community is important to us, because HBC is people in your community.
This holiday, I got my own present. It's my Rogan's receipt. Next time, with my receipt, whatever I get is going to be half price. Maybe some new running shoes.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Sunshine Refuse is your locally owned and operated choice for trash removal in the Winona and surrounding communities. Owner Tony Buckland built Sunshine Refuse on service, and he and his crew put the needs of their customers first, as your satisfaction is their #1 priority, and you can see it in their work. Put a little sunshine in your day. Call Sunshine Refuse at 507-452-5107 and start your service today. You'll be happy that you did.
Hello and welcome to St. John's Valley. We're here with Jacob Rho, the head coach of the Winona Windhawks Nordic ski team. We're just going to ask a couple questions about this beautiful area. As you can see around us, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a little chilly out today. We're probably in the negative numbers right now with the windshield. We got some snow flying at our face, but we're having fun. So let's start it off. Jacob, let's start off with a little bit about you. What got you into the Nordic skiing, whether when you were a kid or whenever you started?
Well, I started skiing when I was, I don't even remember. I just remember that's literally what I was doing from age 2, 3 on. I had a family went out skiing all the time, and I grew up in northern Minnesota where the snow was plentiful and the trails were everywhere. So I've been skiing for a long time.
Awesome. Well, what brought you here? What got you into the coaching business of it?
Well, I have got a teaching job at Bluffy Montessori School, and I wanted to be a ski coach and looked into seeing if the high school team needed any help. And it was about 5 years ago I started. I was the assistant coach here for the high school team.
Okay. And so you said you've been coaching for a year now. How is the coaching experience? Are you having fun with it? What are you doing with these kids that's making it fun? Maybe make it not fun if it's not fun.
Well, hopefully we're having only fun.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
blast. We have practice every day. We start out the year usually on roller skis because we don't get this snow until sometimes well into December or January. So we have to start with some dry land training. But we're having a lot of fun, doing a lot of different things. We've got quite a few kids out for the team this year, so it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's talk about the team a little bit. How's the team doing this year?
Doing pretty well, actually. We've had a few ski meets this year. We just had this one this last Saturday up in Moore, Minnesota. Our girls team took fourth and made the podium, and we had 8 individuals that medaled as well.
So a home meet for you?
That home meet for me, yes.
Yeah, there you go. From Mora, Minnesota. So there you go. That's probably a fun one for you. We talk about the team here, but it's one of those things. It's kind of an individual sport. And so, do you have any like top skiers? Anybody that's looking for a state run or anything like that right now?
We have a few that are definitely gearing up and wanting to make that state run. We'll see as it comes down to it here. Sections is the first week of February, so we definitely have a few that want to make that run, but it's tough competition, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about the area we're in. Obviously, you haven't lived here your whole life, but you've been cross-country skiing probably every winter that you've been here, and so I can assume you know the area pretty well. But what makes this part of Winona unique to the Nordic cross-country skiing?
So I'll just say where I grew up in Moore, Minnesota, there aren't any hills. It's very flat. What's unique here is we have the bluffs, and so there are a lot of hills to ski in, and that's all we have, really. Very few flats. So we have the trails here that go up into the valleys, and so it's a lot of hills up and climbing. And the other unique thing here in Winona is we also make our own snow when we don't have natural snow. So we have a man-made snow project as well that the groomers and the snowmakers do a really good job at doing.
So a lot of hills. That should be fun for myself, learning how to do this, getting to go uphill the first time.
That's
so.
right. But you always get to go down, too.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be looking forward to the down parts, maybe not so much the up parts. But let's talk a little bit about how to get into this sport. What do you got to do if you want to, try it out for the first time? Maybe you want to start getting into it.
Well, if you're trying out just for the first time, I'd suggest that you probably rent a pair of skis so that you enjoy it. It can be kind of an expensive sport when it comes to purchasing skis, poles, boots, all the equipment that goes with it. So if you're just trying it out, I definitely would suggest just to rent a pair. You can do that here in town at Adventure Cycle and Ski. They've rented it for $10 a day, and you can get the whole combo of skis, poles, and everything.
Yeah, you can see my skis right here. I got my poles and boots. I went over to Adventure Ski and rented them out, and so that's definitely the place to go. They do a bunch of renting for just about everything else in the outdoors. But we look at your skis; they look pretty nice. Is it? If you want to buy a pair, what's the price range? Do we know around there?
Anywhere between $200 and $800, depending on if you're just kind of beginner skis to high-end racing skis.
So $10 a day is a pretty good deal.
$10 a day is a great deal. Yes.
Sounds good. Well, there we have it. If you want to get into the sport, you know where to come. We're here at St. John's, right behind St. Mary's University. It's beautiful. How many miles of trails do we have back here?
We have about 15 kilometers of trails.
So 15 kilometers. And there's other places, I'm assuming, around Winona.
There are a couple places. This is the main one that will get groomed consistently.
Okay.
But there are Great River Bluff State Park usually has some trails going.
And we have lights on this trail.
We do. Yep. This trail has
unique.
about 2K of lit trails as well.
So 2K of lit trails. We got the snow blowers right over there that get some fresh snow on here, and so you can snow even if it's not a great, or you can ski even if it's not a great snow year, right?
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, exactly. So there you have it, the cross country skiing. We're about to go out and have some fun. We got the GoPro on some of the varsity kids right now. I'm going to throw it on, so probably get to see a good fall somewhere in there. Maybe see me struggle to get up the first hill. But there you have it. Thank you for watching.
There are two different techniques. There's
Okay.
a classic technique and a skate technique. You have classic skis on, and I have skated skis on.
Okay.
Your classic technique is the original ski technique from ages ago, and that is just the basic back and forth kicking
Okay.
motion. The skate technique came around. It was years ago. It was actually an American that invented it. He did it in the Olympics, and he skied with one ski out and kicked off.
Okay.
That idea kind of like if you're skating on ice.
Yeah.
So you're the back and
Well,
forth.
I should be good at this.
Yeah, motion. So then, but yeah, those are the two basic techniques.
Okay, sounds good.
With your poles, you are planting with the opposite pole to the opposite leg. So as you go out, you're planting
Okay.
out.
So I'm literally just going straight forward.
Yep.
And you're doing the.
And I'll be going back out.
So you're gonna go a lot faster than.
Well, I'll stay with you.
Okay.
And then a couple other things to think about is you want to have your knees bent. You don't want to be straight leg. You want your knees bent. Kind of in a relaxed position.
Sounds good.
And then you're just kicking back and forth. So.
Explore the Outdoors with HBC is brought to you by Oz Lifting. More power, good, right? Oz Lifting Products offers safe lifting solutions, from chain hoists to lever hoists, trolleys, and clamps for all your lifting needs. See ozliftingproducts.com or at the Fastenal store.
It's true when it comes to used vehicles, there really is the good, the bad, and the ugly. The best value around is a certified used vehicle from Lewiston Auto. Save money on a variety of reliable and affordable Chevrolet and Buick certified used vehicles from Lewiston Auto, the value leader. Come see us and save. Let us show you why. You'll be glad you're driving a Lewiston Auto.
Don't miss out on highlights and score updates from your favorite local college and high school athletics by following HBC TV 25 Sports. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get up-to-date information on all the games covered by the HBC sports team. Grab your smartphone and add us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at HBC TV 25 Sports.
Over the last 30 years, Waukesha Construction Companies helped with the growth and beautification of numerous communities in the tri-state area. We strive to provide excellent customer service with a fair-priced bid on all projects. Our goal is to provide quality workmanship and excellent service in a timely manner. With an outstanding office staff, superior supervisors, and talented tradesmen to complete all jobs with the standard of excellence, our people are what set us apart. Visit WaukeshaConstruction.com for information and examples of past and current projects, or call 507-454-2707.
Thank you, Jacob Rho, for teaching us the very fun but exhausting sport of Nordic skiing. We hope you learned something and tune in next time as we continue to explore the outdoors. For the entire HBC crew, I'm Spencer Ellingson, and you're watching Explore the Outdoors with HBC TV 25.